Well, everything almost worked. I was going to be so happy. Ah, there we go. Okay, just took a moment to pop in. Now everything worked. Hooray! I see our audio. Good. I hear the audio. I see that that went to game. Let's go to cam. There we go. Hi, how you doing? So, it mostly worked. It mostly worked. That's the most that things have worked at the starter stream in a while. I'm happy about it. Hi everybody.
I have a
We're
mooncake.
yes, fast as a mooncake. We're starting a little bit late, a smidge, but I'm not too worried about it because I also don't really know a lot of what we're doing. We're going to visit Catherine, I think was the last thing that we had in mind because
We're going to try to free Catherine.
yeah, because we went and saw again, and we got stuck, and so our thought was let's go see if that has changed Catherine's dialogue at least.
We should also double check what we've got in Catherine's book.
Oh yeah, you can actually. Yep. That's this one. Right, quickly from my prison, along with this journal, I have instructed Neela to return the book that the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will wish to use it, though he will undoubtedly be suspicious. Once he is out of the way, you still need accommodation to release me. I'm told he keeps it somewhere in his outpost in 233. So maybe it's...
It's in his office.
So maybe we can actually just go back there and find it?
Maybe. But also,
Then I...
said journal. Is this thing clickable?
Well, not if I do that.
Mother, Humper.
Well, that's not super obvious. Just looks like a note. Okay.
We'll get to that.
All right. Well, hey, welcome everyone to the start of the stream. We'll do that when we switch screens here in a second.
I
So
realized in the other notes they gave us was just on a sheet,
yeah,
not folded into a book.
not folded into a book like this. That makes a lot of sense. Hey Al, your timing is perfect. We're just about to get rolling. But yeah, last time after lots of back and forth and eventually figuring out that what was ultimately we had a few things. We had pretty much exactly one. Well, no, we had two things wrong. Not as much as we thought, but less than we'd hoped. And we eventually put together the 5x5 grid color balls and the things at the top.
Which I will note, in the original version of this game, was a 25 by 25 grid. And the puzzle involved a topographic map.
And it was about figuring out where they were, like where the eye orbs were on each island. Yeah.
It was excessive.
That's a lot. Like, it was still a lot, I think, in this version, but that definitely keeps the spirit of it.
Yeah.
And that, I was thrilled to find out, hang on, let me get this adjusted. I was thrilled to find out just by mentioning it, hey Alice, that apparently a lot of other folks had similar issue, that was a wall for a lot of people. So that puzzle is apparently a semi-infamous, which was reassuring to me that it wasn't like... this is a joke that'll make sense to nobody. It wasn't let me see only sunlight. It wasn't a puzzle that just we had gotten stuck on. It was like apparently everyone gets stuck there. So I felt much better about that. But we did eventually get through it after meticulously rechecking everything. And with a final, I think, sort of a eureka moment spurred on by Bob's suggestion. We finally rechecked one of the numbers and got the last in place, and we finally figured out everything else.
Yeah, it turns out it's not a base 10 number system either. It's a base 25.
25, because of course
that's
it is
reasonable.
5 times 5. All in the pipe, 5 by 5. Anyway, the point is that we got to...
That Gin really likes the number 5?
Which I think we knew, but we now...
The man is sort of obsessed with his hand.
You're not wrong. Point is that we got to Outpost 233, where we were instantly inside of a cage. And then Gen walked up the stairs and did a villain monologue at us about how it was so important that he finish working on the book because it was the only way to save the people here in the world that he totally destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed.
They took no ownership of that, of course. This unfortunate passive voice event that has happened to these folks. But that he cannot be disturbed.
The colonialism went off on its own.
Colonialism happened. Anyway, never mind that. He did take the trap book, but he wouldn't go through it. He offered us the chance to go through it first as a show of like good faith.
Yeah.
And I just honestly didn't click fast enough. You know me. You give me a button prompt, I'm gonna click the button prompt. But a lot of stuff are happening. We might get another chance. It's certainly on a table in his outpost world. And we couldn't find anything else to really interact with, so we went back. But literally standing here halfway we're in the nowhere space because we had
the nowhere space also didn't exist in the original version of the game. I may have compared some notes over the weekend.
That's fantastic. So at the end of last stream, I was thinking that now that we finally met Gen, we could go back to Catherine and be like, okay, so we found him, he's here, we gave him the book, but he won't touch it unless, like, we guinea pig, what do we do next? Which was clearly the right line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But as Bast has just discovered, the journal that we have had this whole time from Catherine is actually a full-on book, and I just didn't realize that it had flippable pages. What's funny is I clicked up top. That's why. It's because it's 90 degrees this way, not 90 degrees. This will make more sense when I switch our screens. That's so... The number of times in this game that us running into I don't know what to do next, it's come down to that's interactable. It's like, I need the thing. I've been playing Disco Elysium. This is going to sound like a non sequitur, but go with me on this. It will eventually make sense. Hello? Wow. It's very funny having you emerge out of the icon because you look so much like it. Hi, Ben. You look very surprised to have just been abducted off the floor. Yeah. Anyway, I've been playing Disco Elysium. Fantastic game. Highly recommend. And it has a thing that I want basically most isometric games that have a click interaction to have, which is you can hold down on keyboard, it's tab, but you can hold down a button and it will highlight every interactable object that you can see.
That would make the game too easy.
Would it? Because it wouldn't tell you what to do with them. It would just tell you, oh, that's a handle. And sometimes that's all we've needed. It's literally just to go, oh, that's a handle. Like, that to me doesn't feel like a puzzle. That's a visibility issue. But anyway, that's a we don't have time for that conversation. We do, but we're not taking it. Okay, I think that's all the recap of last time, because it really was just we did that puzzle, we met Gen, and that was the end of the stream. Because the first of those bullet points is about 2 hours worth of time that I'm summing up in one short sentence. So excessive describes the whole series succinctly. You're not wrong.
You know, I hear that there are like marriage counselors that basically say, hey, if you want to see how your relationship is going, buy them a piece of furniture from IKEA, take away the directions, and hand it to them to put together, so they can put it together without like punching each other. I would also argue that the marble puzzle from Riven counts as well.
We kind of went through it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a good exercise in communication.
Yeah.
Literally, because it was also about like transposition of language on.
There was quite a bit of that. Which that?
Which that? This or that or that business? Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think we have a lot of the pieces, and also we're gonna lead off with a whole bunch more reading. Which, hey, it solved things last time.
It did.
Even though I was irritated that after joking about, hey, what if the answer is in Gen's journal, and then we found the fucking answer in Gen's journal, and I was so mad immediately.
More than one of them, even.
I know, and I was. Well done.
It even
well
made
done,
the technology
designers.
Of the design of the damn puzzle make sense.
It made sense, but it's just like I didn't want it to be right. I wanted there to be lore and there to be puzzles, and of course that's not how these games are.
It's specifically this game.
Well, Myst was the same way.
Yeah.
The books in the bookshelf, the ones that aren't burned, are also full of like puzzle answers, and it's just
there's like 3 more games in this series.
No, more than that. We looked.
Good.
See, so this is a whole side thing. Fun story, if you're not already aware, there's a humble bundle right now of all of the like Myst series, which, no joke, I saw the notification for like 4 hours or something after we were talking about how it's like, this is really fun. Hey, there were more games in this series. Maybe we should look into how playable they are on modern systems. And then Humboldt was like, oh, you say you want to play more Myst? How about every game in the series for $20? So if you're into this kind of nonsense, here's your shout out to that. But yeah, so there's Myst, there's Riven, there's Exile, there's Revelation, which is the one whose name I always forget.
Exile's the one that I played. It was a drop.
Exile is the one that is panned largely.
Yeah. I haven't played the others.
I've heard very little about Revelation, but I think Revelation might be the first one that Team Cyan took over with.
And they're clearly good at what
and they're the ones who did the remakes. 5 is End of Ages. I actually used to think that Uru was 5, but apparently there was a 5th one before that, and that's End of Ages. And then there's Uru, which is the like MMO thing. And that's just the big ones. There might be more of them that I don't know about, but there's at least 6.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Anyhow, hello, July. Thing is, I got through these games as a child, but now they baffle me. Also, some really interesting Yes, some very interesting, like, adjacent games in the same bundle. Some by the same devs, some... I don't know if they're all by the same team, but they're, like, all in the same category, certainly. Which was interesting to see some of them that are very much not Myst, but they're in the same group. But yeah, I remember... I feel better, certainly, about Riven, now that we've gone through this one together, that at least my 11-year-old self...
You were genuinely in over
I was swimming in waters too deep for me.
I'll be honest, your brother would have been in over his head.
Probably, honestly. I think the two of us working together, would have killed each other, but before that, we might have solved a few of these puzzles. But, like, the fact that I found Myst so, like, fun and engaging and right-sized feels very good. And the fact that I found Riven way over my like reading level at the time is less surprising now that I've come back to it.
My biggest regret is the number of puzzle games that come out that don't try and hit the Riven level anymore. A lot of people took the lesson of Riven is too hard.
Oh, yeah.
Which, admittedly, for your general audience, okay, yeah, maybe. For me, I'm finally feeling a little bit of strain.
I think a lot of puzzle devs... Sorry, we're still babbling about this stuff. I assume that y'all are here for this, at least to some degree. But the other lesson, I think that... Because I think Riven is something of a standout contender.
Yes.
Like, I don't know that it stands alone, but it stands in a category of its own, certainly. And a lot of the other puzzle games that are much more, like, notorious, and that I think caused a lot of devs to either try to replicate, but, like, better, or veer away from entirely as a formula, were all, like, the Sierra games, the Police Quest, the King's Quest, and the LucasArts games, like the Monkey Islands, and, like, I think those two...
a lot of those have nonsensical puzzles.
They've got the moon logic, exactly.
The real trick you have to do is, to make something like this that's understandable and satisfying on a lot of levels is develop your world. Yeah. Figure out your world, figure out your technology, and then build the puzzles on that. And then they're not puzzles anymore. They're just anthropology. There are
some wonderful puzzle games that I think I don't know that we'll stream them, but I think that you would love, that are definitely taken from this level of, like, involvement, that have come out within the last 5 years or so, at least, that have kind of gotten back to this level of, like, oh, you really enjoyed the parts of Stargate where Daniel Jackson had to sit there and retranslate everything. What if that was the whole game?
Also enjoyed looking at Daniel Jackson.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like that, and so, like, people have gone back to that, and they're shorter, so that if that
Look, you put
thing
Daniel
takes
Jackson
you that
and
long.
in a room together.
That's true. So that if that piece, like, takes you that long, it's not a, like, 15-hour game with these hard puzzles. It's like a 4-hour game with these really hard puzzles. And I think that's a good formula. Something they should have called remake of Riven, the sequel to the remake of Myst, the remake of Myst, the prequel to Riven, the sequel to Myst. So right now on Team Cyan's, like, store, on their merch store, they've got a mug that I'm I'm very tempted to pick up, which is like Mist, the prequel to Riven.
Yeah.
Just for the title of it, just by itself, which I'm like, the fact that it's official merch also just makes me so happy. Okay. Well,
honestly, what I love is I was talking about solving that last puzzle last week. Turns out a friend of mine is also a huge Mist and Riven like world fan.
Yeah.
Actually has a handout on the number system to teach people how to like read it.
That was a whole other thing.
Wonderful piece of fan art that, for obvious reasons, can't share here. But
sure.
It's super cute of the whales.
The works. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna keep calling them whales because I'll always forget. Okay. So we've done our customary 15 minutes of babble, as is tradition. I totally meant to be like, hey, we started late. Let's just go straight on into the. No, that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. Not with this game.
This one might be a short one.
That's true. Now that we know that we might be holding the book with the answers in it. Welcome back to Andy Reid's Exposition, everyone. You grab yourself something nice and warm to drink. It's been 1 week. Oh god, it literally starts with "It's been 1 week." You can't do this to me. You can't. Catherine, you can't.
Yes, you can.
It's been 1 week since I linked to Riven, and I'm still reeling from the changes I've witnessed. Even before my eyes could adjust, the smell of my homeland embraced me. How did I miss that she's from Riven?
Also missed it, and I take back the white lady comment then.
Yeah.
She local.
She's Moody. Neat. The sweet salt air was instantly familiar, but the scene that soon resolved was not. As I stood there struggling to make sense of what I was seeing, a violent clang sounded and bars appeared before me. It was then that I must have been something. That's not farted. Darted? It's then that I must have been darted. Oh, like blow darted. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there going, "That's what a strange, what a weird place for that verb, like darted as in blow darted." Now I understand. You missed her. Very good, very good. Then I must have been darted, for my memory after is cloudy. A Rivenese man, shabbily dressed in militaristic attire, was shouting something at me. He seemed to be attempting to speak Dani, but his grasp of the language was so poor that I could not make out his words. And then the world went dark. Many voices passed until at last I awoke to a familiar face. Etty. After all this time, she's still as warm and kind as ever. This is the one we probably met on Tay, who gave us the book.
She was nice.
Yeah. And yet the years have clearly wounded her, as they've wounded everyone whose world became a prison when Gen was trapped here. Whoa, that's a hell of a sentence. Everything is tinged with pain and loss, even Etty's bright smile, though she does her best to hide it. A desperate urgency, squelched by unuttered fears, seethes beneath her cordial veneer. Okay.
Is H one who trapped in here? I got a feeling that he's going to have to answer some questions, hard questions from his wife later.
So I'm not a huge fan of Atris for a variety of reasons, but yeah, also Atris...
Best of the worst.
Trapped his dad here, yeah.
Yes.
But also, little sidebar. Because we just last stream were reading through Gen's journal again, and Catherine's also just a better writer. Mm-hmm. I know it's a small thing, but yeah, it means something. Anyway.
Her sentences have more variety and, like...
Then there's still like verbosity here. There's still a little purple prose to this, but it's not choking with ego. When Atris and I left Gen here all those years ago, I was haunted by visions of what had become of my people and how they might have come to suffer under his rule. But the injustices I imagined here were nothing compared to the atrocities that have actually come to pass. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and no reason at all.
With her husband when she gets back.
Yeah. She did. Let me reread. Yeah. She says when Atris and I left Gen here.
Mm-hmm.
So she's taking, like, co-credit for that. So it may have been a mutual trepiding.
Yeah.
The following is a chronicle of what I have learned, record of all that has happened, should I no longer be here to tell it. The moiety. It seems the confrontation that led to Gen's entrapment on Riven was witnessed by some of the Rivenese, but their interpretation of the event was skewed, no doubt due to Gen's overinflated view of himself. Atris and I had hoped that stripping him of his ability to link to other worlds might lead people to conclude that his claims of godhood were fake, but it appears the opposite has come to pass. If Gen was a god, and we had vanquished him, then we must be greater gods. It was thus assumed that my absence was only temporary, and that I would surely return one day to set the world right again. Thus the moiety, the name that...
I mean, they weren't wrong.
Yeah, the name they adapted after Gen's disparaging use of the term. Oh, got it, okay. Were born, sworn enemies of Gen and devotees of me. I had no inkling of this misconception about myself until 2 days ago. They worshipped Catherine because they hoped that she would come back and enact retribution on Gen. That's perfect. I had no inkling of this misconception about myself until 2 days ago, though in hindsight it makes perfect sense given the way I've been treated. For their part, they naturally assumed an omniscient deity might be well aware of their own divine status, so there was no need to inform me. Of course you're a god! Shouldn't you know that already? You right? What happened?
They figured out a really good way to make a really, really, really terrible insult in a word. If you look up the definition of moiety, it's half.
Ah. Got it.
Yeah.
For their part, they naturally assumed it. Right, okay.
Fuck
yeah. I only finally pieced it together during a recent underground gathering where they reenacted their version of the story of my life, a riveting tale that culminated with the confrontation between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events have been exaggerated to such grandiose proportions that I found it hard at times to suppress my laughter, and yet this myth has also given them courage to stand against Gen, and the hope that they might someday be delivered from the relentless inhumanities of his authoritarian rule. I love this. Even so, the fact that I am the one who has been cast as their savior, I like that she started to write God and cross it out, an omnipotent being who would one day return to Riven, overthrow Gen, and lead them to a new paradise, is deeply unsettling. I would do anything to free my people from this hellish existence, but I am not who they think I am. How, though, can I dissuade them from this notion without also crushing their hopes? Just let me go ahead and do one of these. Oh! From the... Trying to figure out if we've been here. That's not the prison cell passage that we went to. As Gen's power grew, so did the moiety, and in order to evade his persecution, for he would wipe them all out in an instant if he could, they had to become more and more adept at concealing themselves. They made use of a network of caves that so far he has failed to discover, but I fear it's only a matter of time before they're found out. 3 Bolu must be lit.
No, that is the secret room.
That's the secret room? Okay. Further jeopardizing their existence is the fact that the moiety absolutely refused to sever their ties with those who have sided with Gen. The two factions thus live together in surprising harmony, their overarching sense of cultural unity appearing to outweigh the schism, at least for now. I heard today that Father and Inant were inducted into Gen's labor force. I so longed to see them, but a dimness shrouded Etty's face so abruptly when I asked of them that it left me hesitant to press the matter further. I must know the truth eventually, but I fear the news will not be good. From the moment of their inception, the moiety have sought to disrupt Gen's plans at every turn, sabotaging his constructions, stealing from his precious stockpiles, and keeping an ever-watchful eye on his every move. They shroud themselves with dark coverings and delight in the fact that their enemies are often frightened by their wraith-like appearance and their almost preternatural ability to wreak havoc without detection or consequence. It was in the course of one of these forays that I was fortuitously rescued when I first linked to Riven. I shudder to think what might have become of me had that scout not been there to intervene. Gen will certainly be hunting for me now, no doubt furious at his guard's failure to detain me. He must be even angrier, though, at the loss of the linking book he surely assumes I brought with me. That I was deceived into linking into Riven without a way back is a bitter yet fortunate fact, for it may well have meant the death of us all had a path back to Dunny fallen into his destructive hands. When he finally discovers that I came here empty-handed, he'll be angrier still. This is some consolation, at least.
Kind of love the artwork.
The artwork is very cute. I have glimpsed the final breath of a dying age. I just grab this poem. A tiny blade cuts the void, the white whale divided. Or the white hole? White hole divided. Again and again, dipped in black, the nib drips red, the art of genocide. Yeah. Today I ventured above ground to see for myself what has become of the island. I hoped it wouldn't be as bad as the Moede had reported. It was worse. Having lived with it for so long, the Rivenese have become inured to the steady decay around them, but I was devastated. As we wound our way through the underbrush, I found myself once again breathing in my youth, the ocean air, transporting me back in a matter of seconds. But as my eyes again took hold, the warmth of these memories vanished, and I was left with nothing but numbness. We had reached a bluff that had not been there the last time I visited my home. Riven, which was once one island, has split into 5 distinct pieces that have since drifted apart at an astonishing rate. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen and his exclusive domain. Only those who have sworn their loyalty to him are ever allowed access to them. From my vantage point at the edge of the trees, I could see 3 of them now blighted with Gen's monomaniacal constructions. These islands are closely guarded and pose great personal risk to the Moede, though that hasn't kept them from doing whatever they can to thwart Gen's endeavors here. Or there. Okay, so that's telling us the passages from Boiler to Sentry. Yeah, okay. 4th Island, I could not see it, as it has crept away to some distance and now lies concealed by fog. The Moede said that Gen originally governed from this small island, living and working in a protected space he built for himself atop the stump that remains where the great tree used to stand. Jackass. The only surviving forest is located here on the largest island where the village also remains. This island was ostensibly intended to be the province of the people, but it too has been irrevocably marred by Gen's oppressive intrusions. Words fall. Brittle brown leaves masquerading as green should never hold lives both bloomed and as yet unseeded. Just grab all the poetry here. I feel nothing today. I'm an outcast among outcasts, the diaspora of a dying world. Despite my repeated protestations, the Moede continue to treat me differently, their desperate need precluding any dissuasion from the belief that I am some sort of messiah come to save them. They misconstrue my every move as a validation of their faith, whispering of how I walk to the island, bold and unafraid, mistaking my outrage at the island's devastation for bravery. But I am afraid, for I know something that the Moede do not, the underlying reason for the island's accelerated decay. Gen wrote this world, and so it will fail, as all of Gen's ages ultimately fail. Because he's bad at this. I must make the Moede understand this, but I cannot talk to Etty. There were brief moments soon after my arrival, when my divine status was forgotten and I was simply Catherine again, Catherine, but they are almost non-existent now. There is one person, however, who seems immune to these fallacious notions, Nella. Her gaze has never faltered whenever I've dared hint at the uncomfortable truth. I feel I could trust her to bear the full brunt of it. Gen is making books! How did I not know this until now? Atris and I knew he would likely attempt it, as he has adopted the paranoid practice of writing all of the necessary materials into his ages. He's been exploiting the natural resources and the people of Riven as fodder for his mad pursuit to further his colonialist ideals. Thankfully, it sounds as if he has not yet succeeded. As painful as it's been, the fact that I've returned to Riven at this crucial juncture is fortuitous. The age is crumbling, my people are suffering, and if Gen succeeds in securing his freedom, other worlds will suffer the same. The Moede are looking to me. I may only be mortal, but I have to do something. Now that looks like our thing doodle. been a long time since my last entry. There is much to tell. It was hard to recognize, but I found the Star Fissure. It's located on what Gen refers to as his Temple Island, though the Moadi prefer to use the Rivenese term Alapo, which means water pool. They've thus taken to referring to the void itself as Alatuvan, pool of stars. That seems appropriate. It is the very fissure that allowed Atris and me to escape this age without leaving a linking book behind us, though it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. Several derelict devices from that time remain mounted to its surface, including a hatch with a windowed viewport, a large telescope, and the mechanical lift that was used to install it, the combination to which was acquired by the Moadi a long time ago. It's in their number system, but we finally have our combination.
Excellent.
In the early days, the Moadi briefly considered reopening the fissure. Thankfully, they decided against it. They had attempted it back then. The results might well have been catastrophic. Were they to do so today, it would certainly mean the end of Riven. Okay, so maybe we shouldn't punch that number in.
Not till we're ready to go.
Yeah, that's the exit. Okay. I'm told that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the mist book fall from Atris' hands into that very same space. That's gotta be the fucking thing that's floating around. To this end, he sacrificed several poor souls, alleged transgressors of the law, by throwing them into the hatch that he could observe their fate. It is said that they did not die, but what becomes of them remains a mystery, and that original fissure is no longer alone. New ruptures have appeared in recent years at various locations around the islands. In some instances, the Moadi were able to glimpse the breaches before Gen and his minions moved in to contain them. We got a brief look at that before he boxed our void. Their descriptions support my suspicion that the forces that are tearing Riven apart are more than merely geological. More troubling, however, is that Gen is not simply containing these rifts, but is somehow using them to travel between the islands. Whoops. And that he has also reportedly devised a way to harvest the energies from the expanse for some as yet unknown purpose. How like him to wantonly exploit for his own selfish gain that which he does not understand. The starfield beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. That is how Atris described his brief time within the expanse before he linked out, leaving his mist book adrift within it. He was never able to conclude upon its nature, but I cannot help but feel that there must be some greater pneuma behind it. Whew. Something I should have mentioned earlier.
That does mean that if we get lost in the starfield, there is a mist book.
There is. I think the floating shiny thing is the mist book. Something I should have mentioned earlier, one of the colossal blades that appeared in the course of our escape from Riven, the great dagger that stands at one end of the fissure, has been adopted by the Moadi as their emblem of their struggle. They have their own explanation as to how it came to be, of course, but their choice is more apt than they know, as that dagger, along with the other blades, was a manifestation of my rage at the desecration that Gen had already wrought upon my world. Let's go! Haven't told the Moadi that I wrote it into this age, as I fear that would only fuel their overestimation of me. But I can't deny it pleases me to have inadvertently provided them with such a fitting symbol for their cause. Catherine, that's just phenomenal. What a win. My limited encounters with Gen's followers have been discouraging. Whenever I've attempted to engage them, they've fled from me. Yeah, we had the same experience. Heard an interesting tale from the Moadi last night, which may help to explain this. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that it was he who had been responsible for the Great Blades, summoning them as a preemptively punitive reminder of the obeisance he expected. In the village circles, it is told that this act marked the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, provided they had proven their devotion to him, they would be delivered into a new and better existence. I will continue my attempts to intervene on their behalf. Cage has finally failed. Gen is free. What a prick. My sources have confirmed that Gen has managed to create a functional linking book. In fact, he had done so before my arrival, but kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest acolytes were aware of it. Keeping with his callous regard for the worlds he creates, he has simply named this age 233. It is not yet known whether he has written others. I have also just learned that years ago a Moadi scout managed to steal a book that was an early failure that Gen had intended to destroy. It was largely complete but did not work. Wasn't told about it until now because they thought it was useless. Gen struggled for decades, but he could never get a conventional linking book to work. Then one day he began construction on a cumbersome mechanical solution, a complex array of devices designed to harness the energies of the starry expanse and use them to suppress his book's inherent flaws. The design phase was chaotic and often dangerous, the moiety tell of tremendous explosions as Gen sought to contain and wield forces that he knew little to nothing about. But he is nothing if not determined, and eventually he was able to use this enormous crutch to link to another age. Can't deny his brilliance, but it is an abominable solution, brutish and overwrought, and all but entirely unnecessary. I have studied the partially burned book that the moiety took from him. Although he sought retribution for the affront, he appears to have been otherwise untroubled by the theft, no doubt assuming that the book would be useless in the moiety's hands. But I can see what they could not. The book may yet be salvageable. The age the book describes is wholly unsuitable as a home for the moiety, but I think it can be modified. I will dream. I've nearly finished writing the moiety's age. The world as described is harsher and more desolate than they are used to, but they should be able to sustain themselves there. We'll need a second book. Gen has been spending most of his time on 233 lately, so the danger is less, but getting into his lab will still be difficult. The coming collapse weighs the air, blurring my vision both day and night. We must act soon. So Catherine wrote Tay.
Mm-hmm.
Success! We have secured a second book, though I worry now that Gen will miss it and deduce our plans before we're ready. Descriptive book I've prepared as a refuge for the rebels is useless unless I can find a way to correct its inherent flaws. Gen's massive machine mainly functions to manipulate the energies within the expanse, serves its purpose, but its excess seems unwarranted. The Rivenese have long used crystalline substrates as an elegant means to manipulate light, if I could just find the right material. Last night's dreams have delivered me a perilous plan. I will write the substance into the new moiety age. Neat. We could temporarily access Gen's apparatus. We could use our book to link to this new age and search for the crystal. Someone could then have to carry the book back to safety once the link was made. If it fell into Gen's hands, all would be lost. When Gen links to 233, one of his acolytes always remains to shut down the device. We'll have to get to him before he can do so, which means we'll only have one chance before they're alerted to our presence. Everything is ready. I have written the material into the new age, and I have prepared the second linking book as a return path to Riven. Of course, it too suffers the same deficiencies as all of Gen's books, so it won't work unless it's augmented. Once I'm in the new age, I'll have to locate the crystal and adapt it to heal the gateway image, which should render the book functional. I can then use the second linking book to return to Riven with more of this material. It's risky, but if all goes well, the moiety and any others we can convince to join them will finally have an escape. Can't help but laugh at the absurdity of this plan. I sound like Atris. Should I fail to return, it would likely mean the end of my life, but my only real fear is for my people. Everyone assures me that they have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. That's the fulfillment of the prophecy, after all. But underneath, they are just as tense and fearful as I am. What will become of them if I do not return? Will they perish here on Riven, or attempt to follow me through the new book to an unknown fate? I don't know what to tell them. Against all odds, it is done. We have already evacuated most of our members to this new age, which the moiety have called Tay. The world is more beautiful than I had anticipated, so I am pleased. The Rivenese have been liberated at last. They stand beneath the open sky, unafraid, dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. But there's still much to be done. The age is still vulnerable. The only way to completely protect it from Gen is to destroy the books once everyone is safely in Tay. I'm hesitant to bring this up with the moiety until they've had a chance to acclimate themselves to the new world, as it would mean they would be forever exiled from the only one they've ever known. Nor am I eager to sever my own connection and my only path back to my life and family on Mist. But for the greater good, it must be done. For the moment, we're safe, but our activities could arouse Gen's suspicions at any moment. We cannot delay. I will return to Riven tomorrow to resume my attempts to persuade the remaining holdouts to join the others in Tay. For now, though, I must rest. And we know that when she went back, she got captured.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the good news is we have a 10-digit code. It's in Rivenese numbers, but we have a way to translate that. So let's head back to Temple Island.
That's to open the Starfisher, though.
Yeah, so you're thinking that's like when we're all done.
If we open that, we blow the world up.
Well, we still need to go back to Temple Island if we want to go back to 233. So we need
Right.
to go back to Temple either way.
Yeah. But
all right.
That book very clearly said, open this, blow the world up. And we haven't rescued her.
It
there are a bunch of people in that village who
did kind of imply
to
that.
us, but we need to get them out.
Yeah. Quick warning to the easily motion sick. We're going to be rotating the horizon.
It's time again.
So if you need to close your eyes or look away, I'll verbally announce when we're done rotating the world. Should only be a minute or so here. Gotta remember where.
Zoom.
Hell yeah. Alright, motion sickness warning should be passed.
The time of swirls is past.
Alright, so that suggests that we can find the combination to Catherine's prison, which we know is sound-based. Just from the cage on
or we can get out the cage.
Or we...
If he's not there.
He wasn't there when we were clicking all over and I couldn't interact with anything. I'm guessing we can just find the combination by, like, maybe looking and listening.
I still want to shove him in a book.
I also want to shove him in a book, I agree.
He seems like a trusting soul. And the sad part is, I do mean that literally, depending on who he's talking to.
He didn't trust us enough to go into the book, first.
Right.
So he's not trusting enough. Wow, we have dropped so many frames.
Well, we can
We were
save
just
and
looking at a
shove him in
book.
He doesn't
Riven.
follow us.
Or is it our network? Hang on 1 second. Hold, please. Doing a quick technical check. Weird. And yes, I'm liking what you're putting down. All right, so
Yank him through the bars repeatedly.
I really wanted to just grab him by the collar and pa-pang right into the bars. All right, there's the submersible. From what I recall, we have to go left to get where we need. So I think we need to move this. It'll be like 3 the second time. So that we go through and take a left, and then from that side, we can create a path that goes to where the linking book is. I think. We're gonna find out if I'm right in a moment here. Okay, so that's... And then from here...
Clicky the button.
It's... Button's not the problem. This slow... rotational... The rotunda. The slowtunda, if you will. Like... Did you have to make the whole thing stone again?
If it wasn't as slow and ponderous as it is, how could you find the time to contemplate the true winkiness of his balls?
Right? You really need time to contemplate his majesty. We're coming for you. You just stay right there. We'll be back. God, I'm so glad we have this thing figured out. Oh. Book. You know what? For no reason. Just it seems like a wise idea. Let's just go ahead and
just in case.
Just before Andy clicks on one thing and
we find an ending to the game.
And we go into a prison book. Let's just leave a save here. Just in case. Left my phone over there. All right.
Do you need your phone for something?
I usually have it just as a secondary monitor, but I think everything's okay. All right, so. Okay, so you come back. Please don't give us the same speech again. It was so long.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly.
So I'm not clicking on that.
Click on it.
Nah, that's gonna kill us. Right?
Click on it.
You want me to click on it?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm actually...
free to go.
Okay, I tried to click on it. Maybe I didn't click on it fast enough?
Not come back.
I think you didn't
unless
click
you're
on it.
willing to use the book.
Literally, you could see the thing. Let me just grab it. He's right there. You have a big head and little arms. I don't think this plan was very well thought out.
We saved for a reason.
We did. Oh, hang on. Okay, so then this is a different book. Okay, the fact that that was such a narrow thing to interact with makes me think that we might have missed interactable somewhere else. Take just a careful look. Everything looks the same here. I don't see any, like, differences in the bars. Yep. Pretty sure that's just a light. No flaws in the cage. These little wing nuts I keep wanting to, like, just unscrew.
Screwing the nuts.
No, screwing the nuts. Alright, fair enough. So we can interact with that. Interact with anything else over here. Obviously that's... at least looks like it could be interactable if we could get out of this. The fact that we can just open and close this book is so weird to me. Like, why? Nothing over here is interactable. Yeah, these things have got to be... That's definitely a thing. We can't reach it.
Click you out and click back in.
No, like, it's definitely responsive. It's just...
No, I meant like leave, come back, so he'll come back so we can do the book.
Alright. We still have a save right before this, so...
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. Let's just see if this is required for us to progress.
Isn't it great that you don't have to swap between 5 CDs?
Suspect it was lab. Oh, that's so obnoxious. This doesn't give the map back.
Let's see, there used to be a bridge.
I appreciate your dedication to never letting me forget the bridge. Boiler, which is purple. Let me in. Let me in. Thank you. Now we wait and pray. Thank you, Al. It took me way too long to figure out, because the first time that we were in one of these, I thought that this was us, like, tunneling through the earth. Wow, that just absolutely killed our bitrate. I thought that this was us tunneling through the earth, and that's just the eye resuming spinning, and it's just from the inside. We're on boiler now. I do love watching this thing do its little dance every time. Bong. Excuse me. No. So this wasn't in original Riven?
No, no.
Huh. How did you get to Catherine? Do you remember?
They had like a different pattern of ways in there.
Makes sense. All right. Motion spinny bit. I'll verbally announce when we're past it. 3, 2, go. All done.
Trying to remember how, but I'll have to actually like go back and check to see that difference.
Out we go. I'm gonna have to spin the rotunda again. Again! You couldn't have made a path from the eye orb to the book.
You don't have to keep taking the eye orb.
It's true. The other way seems longer.
Does it?
It seems longer.
Is it?
That I don't know. But yeah, next time maybe we'll just ride the trolley over to the whale. Back in that way. Just literally, like, you could have just made a bridge here. That would have been perfect, but no. Now we erase the ad break. At least I feel like I'm gonna start to figure out, like, we need that entrance to be over here. I'll know the count. Every time we do this will be a reminder. And more. Speedrun, let's go. Oh, damn. Get me out. More. Ah, I remember when this rotunda was the weirdest puzzle we had. Seems so long ago now. Now it's just annoying.
I just want to pry one of the
God.
scarabs off the wall, stick it on my arm, and take it up with us.
Just keep it for a backpack, honestly.
Yeah.
Seems great. Alright.
Alright, this time, no dithering.
This time, no getting distracted. I'll just click on the book. I love that it's a time-limited thing. That's so funny. It's like if you screw it up, you have to go out and back in. And that's not a simple process, as we've just learned. Alright, I'm ready. I'm on it. Totally with you. Very trustworthy.
All right then, once more.
I'm just give me the spear. Give me the spear gun. Let me grab his belt.
The only path open.
There. Don't even finish talking. Done with your nonsense. Now, if this just rolls credits on us, I will laugh. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and come on, dickwad.
No. This is just the end of Mist all over again. The bad end.
We're fine. Totally fine. Get your butt in here. It'll be fun.
Wait. Did he press it? This Doc Brown looking John Hurt sounding British motherfucker. Holy fuck, did that work? I didn't think that would work.
Do you have the book?
Yep. Why did him clicking on it eject us?
It's a small prison cell.
It's
one at a time.
We got tiddlywinked. All right, I fully didn't think that would work. Atris, send better instructions next time. All right, well, we're gonna pause it right there and go to our first break as on this triumphant note. Man, if I'd known it was that simple, I thought that was an obvious trap.
Well, I mean, yes, but also
it was, but like, hey, listen, I'm down to be surprised. We're gonna go take a break. We're gonna run some ads for a few minutes. Y'all do what you need to do to take care of you. We're gonna stand up and probably get something to drink. And we'll be back here in a few minutes with the outside of the cage. Yes, the tiger is out. See y'all in a few minutes. I said the moment that we went to break that I didn't think it would be that easy after everything else. I just assumed it would be more complicated. This game has fundamentally changed me. Okay, so now that Yes Yes the Tiger is out, we have so much to click on. Just gonna move methodically around the room. So this is a library? Books? Ooh. Books with writing. Number 98, I think. Pardon me a moment. I think that's 98, because that's also like what he had called the age. Yes, okay. Whoop, that's not the button I meant to press. That looks like it needs a key. I also can't pick up any of the books, which is distressing. Alright. That book looks incomplete. We can put that in his pipe and smoke it. I wonder if we need to bring Catherine here and have her finish that.
Maybe.
Other books? Nothing. Okay. Now, this thing. Naturally.
Why'd you have to go and do a thing?
Well, listen, I'm gonna press everything I have the option to press. You know me. Alright, so I'm gonna... I don't know why I would want to turn that off, so for now I'm gonna turn it back on. Alright, cool. So that just comes right back on. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ha! That'll be handy so that when we leave and come back, we're not still in the cage. I can only turn it counterclockwise. Wait. Okay, so I can't turn it when it's up. Why would I want...
Weird.
Yeah.
Unless something else in the room is moving while this is playing.
I mean, maybe it's just a way to, like, turn it off without winding it out. If you're just tired of the music. Alright, so there's out the door and there's down the ladder.
Let's out the door.
Flying friends.
They may not be friends.
They may not be friends.
Writing.
You're not wrong. Discussing how brass in a music box would work, I suggested bellows, and Joy said it's basically just a really intricate rubber chicken.
Wait,
Yeah!
honestly, that is actually how bagpipes work.
That is how bagpipes work. Friends. Could adventurers go left? Oh, that didn't work out. Good adventurers go right. Right is the new left. Ooh, hello. A satellite dish? He brought them with him. Oh, hey, it's the thing. Hang on. Ooh. Damn. thought it was going to be so smart. You roasted a friend on the satellite dish?
Puffin dinner. Wait, no.
What do you think?
I think toasty and yum.
I mean, yeah, it's
but
fair.
Also, I'm pretty sure that's like maybe a mirror thingy.
Yeah, I mean, it's catching the light to work as an oven. I assume.
Yeah.
Alright, that doesn't seem to be changing the orientation, so I'm just gonna leave it. Oh, hey, a book. Hello? Oh. Okay, goodbye. Oh. Well. That's a shame. Oop, hang on. Oh, that's probably just for the coals, hey?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. I appreciate that this area seems to just be a lore dump, which is appropriate. God, did he burn... Just realized the kindling is there like statues. What a prick.
So he brought them with him specifically so he could burn them. We went down this one. Let's go up the
You
other
go up the other one, yeah. He brought them with him as kindling. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, Bad Road. Of in the cold food, of out hot, eat the food. Exactly. It's a very simple concept. Throw this man into the sea.
We did.
We kind of did. We threw him...
Can we put the book in the fire?
Hang on.
Can we put his book in the fire?
Wait, hang on. Going back. This is important science. You all understand. Why do they call it of in when... No, I want to... No, but drag the book... No, but in the... Okay, no, but put my whole bag in the fire. I'll sacrifice it. It's fine. There's nothing in here I love so much that I don't mind burning again with it.
Man.
Here, if I just lean forward... Fine.
We need to suggest a patch to them.
Wouldn't let me pull him into the bars, wouldn't let me burn the... Yeah, there we go. After this, I'm gonna leave a review that's like, 9 out of 10. Would be able to give it that last point, but a couple of missing interactions.
The book with Gin in it after he's been trapped.
Does destroying a linking book do anything to the age it links to? Pretty sure from Myst we know it canonically destroys the age and anyone in it.
Yeah.
Because Atreus does that to his sons.
In favor of permanent incarceration. This is a situation where I feel that the death penalty is appropriate.
Oh, hang on. That's interesting.
What?
That's not doing a thing anymore. Alright, hang on. Let's just get that back. There's Thank you very much. Alright, down.
To Wankertown.
Nice. To Wankertown. Oh. God, it really is, though. I appreciate the one step. That's, it's good. It's good that
he was an old man.
It's good that there's still accessibility here. Oh, boy. You know what? We're gonna done a lot of reading already today. We're gonna look around some more first. Wait, hang on. Was that? That's it, hey? Just get right over to make sure. Hello? That's the code! That's the fucking code! Shit! Where did I put it? But those are the notes.
Ding ding.
No, put it down so I can... Alright, so it was... more time. Almost. Thank you, Bex, so much for the follow. At the most awkward time. Getting is that guy who's really into steampunk and is kind of weird about it. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Alright, ding, ratchet, click. Alright. 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. That, I think, is the Catherine code. Neat. Anything over here? And that's a hell of a vuvuzela you got there, bud. Can we play it? Speaking of bagpipes. Jeez. Tugen. My husband and my salvation. I dedicate myself to the love that rescued me. Yikes. Is that some kind of oboe? Oh, yeah, it does kind of...
It has an oboe-ish look.
It's oboe-esque, yeah.
Yes, this is actually Andy's first time going through with
So,
Riven. And
the backstory on this is Bash played the original Riven way back when, and, like, I beat it?
yeah.
Yeah. I played, like, 5 minutes of it, got stuck immediately. After playing and loving Myst forever, but as, like, an 11-year-old kid, played Riven and was like, I love this puzzle game. I'm good at puzzle games. And then Riven was like, you thought, and smacked me down. It went actually a lot like that. But I got nowhere with Riven at all, and I essentially just stopped playing puzzle games for a long time after that. So when Team Cyan was remaking them, and it was like, ooh,
It's pretty...
I have a chance to play this as with an adult brain now. And so this has been a wonderful opportunity. This is interactable, so I'm gonna touch it.
Alright. You need to pee?
Okay. Okay, so if we get something that we can put water into. Hello? Why?
Crank it! Crank it!
I'm gonna. I don't know which way to crank it. It will not allow me to crank. Think I have to do something with this first?
Okay.
Oh. Okay, not that. Something else, maybe. So it started with 5.
Maybe the thing actually does need to be, like, slotted in there.
So I'm guessing we have to, like, you know, hit some combination of colors and then do this. Well, hang on, maybe you're right. So if we do, like, we put it back where it started. And then do this? Yeah, okay. So it has to be... And that's, I'm guessing, the lady from the portrait.
Tagamem, san botegan shem, fasi.
Alright, what else has he got?
I figure we just go through them one at a time.
Yeah. I mean, could be up to...
I was about to say, there could be a whole host of combinations. Okay, looks like 1 is nothing. Okay. 1 1 1 1 1 1. Lois, damn. Oh, oh. Just out of curiosity. No, all right. Now, we've got his journal, like, right over there. If there's any other combinations, it's probably in here. I just don't want to read any more Gen writing. Look at this. I start this latest journal with astounding news. See, like, right off the rip with this guy. Catherine has returned to the 5th age, and though it sets my teeth on edge to say it... Okay, never mind. I'm very happy we read this. Though it sets my teeth on edge to say it, she has also vanished as quickly as she appeared. Stolen from me by the rebels. As my guard tells it, she linked...
Like a thing.
Like property. As my guard tells it, she linked into the Fissure Plateau cage, just as I'd surmised, when suddenly he was set upon by a band of rebels, who darted him and spirited her away. I suspect the truth of the matter was that he was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone link in, after all this time, that he presented an easy target for whichever rebel happened to be nearby. The damnable luck of it.
That is actually pretty consistent with what happened when we came in.
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly what happened. I mean, we turned around and we're like, wow, that's a lot of knives in that Gen-looking statue, and then we got darted, which, that's fair. It was indeed Catherine. Linking book on her person, I find it hard to believe. Right, because she just came in here without one. Filled with hope, as she may have yet proved a way to link back to Dani. Confines of the 5th age, yada yada yada. I am skipping ahead because he does not deserve the same grace that I gave to Catherine's writing. To the vast resources that lie in the city's ruins, the task of resurrecting that great civilization will be impossible. Yak yak, so on and so forth. And furthermore, I should never have permitted them to survive this long. Yeah, that about sums it up. Once again, the Great Wark. Love that whale. Love it. First mention, I think, in writing of the Great Wark. Has demonstrated its usefulness to me, as he's been sacrificing people to it. Services continue. My current pets will be in no danger of perishing for lack of nourishment. Search for Catherine continues. So much of the discord that exists between us stems from their failure to grasp the meaning of the information I give them. What a prick! Minds of the children, however, are much more malleable. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The proper tutelage, they have developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that has given them their lives. Well, listen, good on you writers for not shying away from this.
Yeah, like
Christ.
This level of bluntness about it is not present. I don't remember this being present in the original. I appreciate that they went, we're gonna go all the way
we're just gonna make this as genuine as possible. Given the natives I don't even want to reread that sentence. Let's just go back to Gen's a racist prick. How foolish I was to think that she could wield such knowledge responsibly. Atris still remains one of the greatest disappointments of my life. Well, listen, I'm not high on Atris, but you don't get to say that. Dani became the catalyst for their demise.
Hang on, back up.
Backing up.
The guilt must have been... I was trying to figure out who it was who was like... In the next line, he has a thing about his dad.
That was the only way she could soften the fact that she had been responsible for the collapse of the entire civilization. That much destruction, so much guilt lost. Should never have left him with my mother. By the time I'd returned for him, he had already been poisoned to all thoughts of aiding me in my noble mission.
Wow, that portrait has some things to say.
There's some context to that. The years I spent in the Bookmakers Guild, father's immense pride at each of my small accomplishments. He's an important man in the Deni world, yada yada yada. I have her. Late last night, I received word that Catherine had been apprehended while attempting to persuade some of the villagers to join her. Yeah. Alright, so now we've tied the two journals together. I had to fight the all but constant impulse to put her in the gallows. Yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. It was indeed an accident. Atris is bound to come for her. That is a given. Didn't count on him sending us. My wife, Keita, you were the only true kindness I've ever known. Watching you flicker there in the images, sometimes wonder if you were real. Well, that's a lot to unpack. Hey, from a guy who writes books and genuinely believes that the people in them were created in the writing of the books.
Yeah.
Stranger has arrived on Riven. Oh, it's us. Cage mechanism has been damaged, but that's no matter. Atris is certainly behind this. Okay, well, you get Broken Watch right twice a day. Such recklessness is unlike him. Perhaps this stranger should find her. But now I need only wait and observe. Beginning to think it was a mistake to allow the stranger to roam freely about the islands. Okay, I'm glad I read. Ultimately, I'm glad we read this. Which part did you get to?
In there, from the previous screen.
Attempted to power the damaged drawbridge, and the entire bridge collapsed. Okay, so no one is letting me forget the bridge part. Even Gen, here in this one moment, has come from the past to remind me of the bridge collapse. It's just it's that's gonna be the iconic moment in my Riven playthrough is press button, bridge go bye bye. Maintainers having up on a lone rebel scout. Hey Bob, wants to hear a good story about a bridge. This outlandish claim is true, that the artifact in question must be something that Catherine fabricated prior to her capture, no doubt from an explicit Dunny schematic she brought with her, only had access to such a document all these years. That's not a helpful thing to draw, buddy. You made a rectangle in a squiggle. Actually, wait, did you? Yes, you did. Okay. Catherine has indeed empowered them with such a device the rebels may have linked to another age. He hinges upon that. And I'm going to leave the whole of Riven to its own dismal future. Ah! We just got an achievement for finish reading every journal. Okay, so she's on 5. And then there's Father and Anna we've got the codes for now. So that's 2 and 3. And that's 2, 3, 5. We do 2 and 3. Hell yeah.
Now, my turn.
So that's Gen's father, I think.
So, always you will remember.
Interesting.
What is English for scramape? Scum from above. Your appearance should have inspired us to a better future. What does it mean for us as a people if we cannot embrace worlds outside our own? You were an angel from above. Always you will be my angel from above.
And that's the tie-in back to the actual, like, the Mist novel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very good. My niece needed me to help free a shadow fairy from a block of time ice. A, never apologize for taking time for that. B, an incredible sentence you've constructed there. I've no idea, I've never played any of those. I had to repeat her gibberish and then make up some gibberish for her to repeat and ululate at the door to a closet and some other stuff. And then I think I caused an explosion. Hey! We're explosion buddies. Not sure about that. She told me to run, so I left. Listen, that's when you're dealing with shadow fairies. Sometimes the best solution is a good pair of running shoes. So this is Anna.
An angel. Your angel. The Denis Council knew it. They knew. If I hadn't tried to force my own ideals on your world, you would still be alive. You would still be alive. I wanted a life full of magic, full of books that bridged worlds, that lit up the darkness like stars. The possibilities were endless. It's just us now. You'll never have the life you should have had. Somehow my love and compassion, it took that. I don't know how. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Again.
You're not making me feel sorry for again. You're not doing it. No, no, no.
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 We've watched all of Gen's recordings. I guess this is just here as a fun little thing.
So
we have our
wash the
Catherine
taste out
code.
of our mouth.
Watch the, yeah, I mean, yeah, we did have to read another Gen book, so that's probably for the best. I have to like prime this every time now. Maybe that's it. And then, dang it. Take me home, Riven book. Hey, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Also, incredible, absolutely incredible to be playing this, like, I think 30 years since I read the Mist novel. There are probably more in that series. I only read the first one. But I read the first one, and that's the one that features Anna, and I'm blanking on his name now, but basically Gen's parents feature in like the prologue of it, and it's this incredible thing. And the fact that I guess technically that's kind of a cameo, maybe, but like the fact that the tie-in for them to show up here, and it's like that's the only other time I've seen them, referenced outside of that is just.
Look, they saw an opportunity, they took it.
That's so good. That's so good. Hi, sweetheart. All right. This time, to hell with Iorb. Let's go back the normal way. Because I think you're correct. I don't think. Well, hang on.
It's less clickies.
No, because we don't need to go back. We need to go to Catherine.
Oh.
Because we have the code, and the only way to get to her is through Iorb. Never mind, I'm wrong.
I still want to figure out what that toggly thingy-ma-thing is on Prison Island. the light puzzle that we never figured out. The log.
We did figure that out.
We did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I missed that there was a
Right.
peephole on the side of the log. I just, again, not really a puzzle, just didn't see that there was a thing to interact with. There's a lot of those.
I can't remember what we looked at.
That was where we saw the Riven symbol that we'd already guessed at, because it's on the box art. But if we hadn't put that together, that's where we would have found the 6th symbol to get to Tay. But we'd already figured that out. We were just looking for, like, how would we have solved this kind of a thing?
Right.
Which was,
Completionist.
Completionist, exactly, which is fine. Alright. Go to...
I feel like once we beat this game, I'll have earned a Snickers.
I think we will have definitely earned, I think that's correct. Treats, yeah. I love watching this thing every time. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get freed tonight. Alright, so I've done it twice before. I'm gonna do it every time we have to do this thing. Those of you who are sensitive to motion sickness, we're gonna rotate the world for the next 30 seconds to a minute until I remember which one of these is Prison Island. So I will give a verbal warning when we're done. If you need to shut your eyes, look away, whatever you need to do, we'll be done here in just a moment.
Spin cycle beginning now.
Blue is prison. Okay. That's red. That's jungle. Come back here. That's it. That doesn't really matter. Nope. Leave it. Eh. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. Motion sickness warning over. Now we get to find out how much Andy has learned about sound-based puzzles since being thwarted by Mist and the
At least this one
submarine.
isn't just purely pitch. It actually has a quality to the noise.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, the cardinal directions puzzle, the submarine puzzle in the other one also did, because it has like there's a dink and a clunk and a sproing, and there's specific differences. The problem is that they're in pairs that are very similar, which is obnoxious. Hello, princess. Jasmine is getting scritches off camera. You just have to take our word for it, or possibly hers, because she's not exactly quiet about it. Nailed it. She'd be getting some feline commentary. Exactly. Oh, the water is so pretty. I like that this is where we essentially get to come back to like for endgame, because it's such a pretty island.
It's desolate and depressing.
I mean, like, this part is gorgeous,
Right.
and the tree was gorgeous before Gen got here, so there's a sense of majesty about it still. Like, we're not coming back to Century Island to end it. That would suck. Alright, so just do real quick, because I can't remember. I'm assuming that this is the completed and this is the reset. So I think it's... did not appear to do it, so... Right. Okay, so that's... the button is the reset, and the switch is the actual thing. We did it. 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 We done the thing. All right. I appreciate that they cut away from some of the more obnoxious sound puzzles in this remake. Completely agreed. There's apparently, as I learned between last stream and this one, there have actually been some pretty significant changes between the original and the remake that have still kept kind of like the spirit of the puzzles.
Eek!
Oh, shush.
We have to move quickly.
Sorry. Hi.
Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. You captured Gen. We're all free. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what they'll do once they realize he's gone.
Fire.
I have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. And you go back to where you first arrived and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as possible, but don't wait for me. Oh, and don't forget the combination in my journal. You'll need it.
Hooray! Oh, the achievement for freeing Catherine is who will link the broken chain. That's very good. I'm just curious what the view is from up here. I mean, you take the bars away and that's not the worst.
Gen did say this used to be his office.
That's true. We did just learn that this used to be like where he did his plans and whatnot from.
What else do we have? What is that?
It's just a furnace, I think.
Oh.
A stove. Coconut. I don't think we can interact with anything here, but we also don't need to. We're just waiting for the elevator. You know, Catherine, for efficiency's sake, we could have shared an elevator. It's fine. You were excited to get out of here. I'm not holding anything against you. I also would have just taken the first available exit. That seems very reasonable. I'm just thrilled that this actually worked. I'm happy when any puzzle works the first time. All right, where's my number conversion? Because we're going to need this soon. Oh. We're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there. I'm worried that there's gonna be like one last feint, but maybe not. Maybe this is it. Maybe we really did final boss it last week, which would be appropriate. Puzzle certainly earned the honor. Oh, crap ass. First, which is over here. Again, your designs are bad, and you should feel bad. Well, it took 2 years of engineering, and even I know that.
But they make him feel good.
I don't.
It makes everybody.
They
like his
shouldn't make him
balls.
feel. Well, there's that. It's the sideways one. There we go. Do. Da 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 da. I don't think you could. The elevator is definitely only big enough for one person. I mean, that's a pretty good like a prison safety thing, I guess. Even when it was his office, he probably only wanted it to be a one-person elevator. That's a very Gen move.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. It only looks bigger because I've widened
the
field of view. It's not up to fire code. Nothing on this island is up to fire code. Think about all of the places we've been.
Say.
Nothing is up to fire code. Unless the fire code is, can it be on fire? Nothing is up to fire code. And if that is the code, everything is up to code. Oh. I don't think Gen is very good at building. Catherine herself was like, Gen built this age, ergo, it's falling apart. I love that was just her only, like, it wasn't, he built this age, but it was in a hurry. So no, it was just Gen built this age, so it's going to fall apart. All right, one more motion sickness warning in 3, 2, 1. Like that this is a quick journey.
Make the world go round.
Alright, all clear. There's a literal boiler room that you have to walk through. I don't think safety was ever on Gen's mind. It's true. God, the boiler puzzle. One handle we couldn't see. We spent like an hour looking for a handle we couldn't see. We found the stupid door hinge before we found the boiler handle. I'm still so mad about that. I shouldn't be. I'm very happy that we made it all this way with exactly one Hey Chat invocation where Bob was essentially just like,
and Bob didn't
check the numbers.
Yeah, Bob
and
just
that helped
check
us.
the numbers, which what we were already
Bob, thank
about
you,
to do
because
anyway.
that did actually,
yeah.
I think that did like get us to slow down and specifically look at. Well, Bob didn't say check the numbers. Bob said essentially, can you brute force the high end since you have 3 of them locked in, which is correct. But that was enough for us to look at and go, okay, well, we know that we have a specific reference for the 3 low-end number, for the single-digit numbers.
But the top one...
So it has to be one of these 2.
Yeah.
And we had really zeroed in on the 12, and that was the first time that we were like, what if the 13 is wrong? And it was. Because it was a 16.
Because it's a base 25. Because it's a sensible number system. Yeah, shut my mouth, because we do have like a base 60 that we use in the real world.
We do. I mean, time is. I think any efforts to describe time by their nature have to be a little strange.
Circular, even.
Circular, one might say. Rotational. The numbers are definitely the hardest part. I was thrilled. Let me see if I can get this to show up. I was thrilled to have been able to put the reference together for 1 through 10 in both Dunny and Rivenese as quickly as we did. And the fact that what tripped us up was having to extrapolate Dunny numbers above 10 based on the like design ethos of the first 10 digits. And we had it because we got 12 right. It was just that it didn't occur to me that if 12 is 12, then 13 can't be 13.
Yeah.
And that just took me a little bit too long to clock. I had taken 2 separate roads and gotten to the same place.
Aren't we trying to get to the fissure?
You're right. We're already there. I was so used to getting back to the book. It's just on autopilot. Take it over, memorize the topography of every island. That's the version you're talking about. The 25 by 25 grid. Okay, so let's pull up. I also love this feature.
Yeah.
This is
God.
divine. All right, so we don't need that. We don't need that. It's on this page. And there. Okay. So one would assume these are all going to be single-digit numbers.
Well, otherwise there's not 10.
Well, I mean, yeah, 10 with a 0, yeah, but like it would make sense. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6. Wow. 3 6s in a row, hey? That's ominous.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Gen doesn't know what the sign of the beast is anyway. He's not nearly cool enough for that. Wow. 6669. Nice. Three. And then 4. All right. So, every puzzle game should have this. I completely agree. God, love this thing. All right, go ahead and save. You know what? While we're here at the end of all things, let's just drop a save for the road, just in case. case I want to come back here and go like achievement farming or something for whatever I might have missed. Okay, so 7, so perfect. Right. Right, because as a bit, I was like, what if it's just 555, 5555? Because Gen loves 5 so much. I was sitting there going, hang on, these aren't 1s. No, I left everything set at 5.
Yep.
There's 10. Okay. 4. Well, this is good because we have 3 6s in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2. Holy shit. It worked. Is this like the bathysphere, I wonder? Oh, okay. Alright. And then... Okay, got it. Okay, it's like the thing doodle. Alright, so then... That may not be low enough. That's definitely too low. See, that seems too high. I don't have a lot of control on this, unfortunately.
Try that.
You want to try that and see if it just, like, slopes up the thing?
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think our perspective may be off.
You are correct. Okay. Raise the thingy. It wasn't a rocket ship or a telescope. It was a freaking butt plug.
Yep. Hey, it had a flared base.
It's important to have a flared base. Lived the giant icy. Thank you, Bob. That's better than all of the things that we were saying. Oh, yep, there it goes. Well. Goodbye, everyone. Whee! Yahoo!
Well, I hope.
We're just standing here, huh?
I hope she had enough time
Oh,
to.
there goes the dagger.
To clear everybody out.
She told us not to wait for her. I took her at her word. I can look around, but I still can't move, so we're just...
Yeah.
Oh, hey! Atris? Buddy, you came at the worst time.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine?
Great question.
Where's the book? I don't understand.
Atris!
Okay, well, one question answered. Did you by chance write a book with like a dirigible?
Are safely in the rebel age. I thank you.
Hooray!
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. Path
Aww.
home is now clear for all of us.
This is incredibly sweet. We should get the fuck out.
Don't mix up the books.
Yeah, but thank you. How funny would it be if this was a prison book? It's like, whoops. Well, it's just the 3 of us now.
This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
Buddy? Are you just leaving me here?
You know where to find me.
Can I go with you?
Goodbye, my friend.
Are you for real? Are you do we have to go to Tay? There's still time! You could have gone to Tay! The rebels seem nice! I could have hung out with them. Atris is a dick bag!
Like father, like son, or something. There is a book in here.
That's true.
He just
That's true.
put,
We know there's a book in here.
There's 2 books in here, in fact.
That's true. He just dropped one in.
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I'm unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my mist book into worthy hands I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend.
You really?
I am
The
sure.
age of Riven has come to a close, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
Atris, you're not sure. You had a theory.
I kind
Be
of
honest. You
hoped-
wrote that on a blackboard. You went, no, that tracks. We'll give it a
I hoped
try.
While we were floating there, that a book would actually come smack us in the face.
That would have been very funny, actually, if we were
Yeah.
just sitting there and like the original Mist book just smacked us in the face. That would be great. At the end of Riven, it's like, and now you get to play Mist.
You know.
Listen, there are worse fates. With my last breath, I try to write, Yoku was here in the sky for 40 mana. Fantastic. Holy crap. Okay. Well, that was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
We really did have the... I joked about the 5x5 grid last time being the final boss. It actually was. Cool. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
That was the puzzle fight that we needed. Oh. I was already so happy when I played Team Cyan's remaster of Myst that it was like, this is all I needed. This was like a little piece of my childhood, but with the free roaming, and it's delightful, and the like puzzle randomization is just a nice little thing on top, and it's so good. But I did not realize, I think, how much more... I don't know if complete is the word. Maybe it is.
Mm-hmm.
How much deeper a game Riven is.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so much more here.
It's a game that you have to go into anthropologist mode to fix.
Yeah.
To finish.
Yeah. Like I've still got our notes from the classroom where because I went back and looked at it after last stream. Around the edges of the classroom are individual like characters, bricks that, you know, in a English classroom would be like alphabet blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, for a second, I'm like, if there's 26 of them, I'm gonna scream. There's 35, so it's not a direct like one-to-one cipher or anything like that. But I looked at them long enough to notice that, kind of like with the numbers, the letters very clearly have a like, this one has pieces of that one but modified a little bit. And so I'm like, oh, there's very clearly a system to the lettering that you can decode and figure out. So
Partially derived from the numbers.
so there's all the writing and things like that we found around that. I'm confident the classroom has all the pieces you need to actually be able to decode and understand the language. And that's something I'm gonna do in my free time. Because it just seems fun. That was way too short of a credit sequence. I thought there would be way more people involved in this game. That was not that many people. Well done, all of y'all. Holy crap. Hey, this was a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you for being up for this. Because I would not have had the courage to try this on my own. Also, would definitely not have been good about remembering to just sort of stop and turn 90 degrees when I needed to, and be like, "Oh, there's a lever right there. Yeah, it's a little switch." That the number of times that was the solution is embarrassing. It's funny that these guys wrote a linking book and conquered the civilization inside to make them create a publishing industry instead of just writing a book about a world with a pre-established publishing industry. These are all good thoughts. I love that we still have like this page in particular. I'm gonna hold this one up. This makes me I'm gonna try and get it actually centered here. This one in particular makes me very happy that has the understanding of like the number system and all the pieces there, and then this one where Bast very helpfully wrote the color symbolism down in a like large print and more helpful
put them all
version.
together instead of scattered across two
I had them,
pages.
well, because we'd found them at different times, but recompiling them onto one page so that we weren't getting confused, so that I wasn't getting confused, was very helpful. Yeah. This is great. I like this game a lot. Way people suck the video game. Not a short list, honestly, but I think Riven, particularly with those journals, between Catherine's journal and the like Gen's personal log that we found tonight, I love the writing.
Yeah.
Like what an incredible added touch to an otherwise a game that could have been just a like, here's a really hard puzzle game, and that would have been enough. But to also put in this fantastic and unflinching look at colonialism and the damage it causes, both on a like environmental level, cultural level, personal level, like, mwah, love it. I have no notes. Great game. Would get my butt kicked again by this. That was so fun. If you like the anthropological aspect of this one, I think Myst 3 also does a pretty good job with that. Fantastic. Okay, because we were just talking about at the start of the stream, the Humble Bundle right now that has all of the games. I've already gotten them. It's such a like, you know, here's another joke that'll make no sense except for the two of us. For 20 cents more, you get the brownie, crackhead. You know what? We've got time. I'll tell that story. So, nope, I won't, because it's the context doesn't matter. The important thing is, I now own Exile, Revelation, End of Ages, and I think Uru as well is in that bundle. So we're not going to be doing them immediately.
No. Take a break.
We're going to be taking, it's a bit of a break. The next game that I have queued up after Riven is called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which I have pre-played, unlike this one. So Lorelei I'm familiar with, and I'm very excited to share with y'all, because I don't know how many other people have played it, but it is, it's also a like high-level butt-kicking kind of game. I was surprised I did so well at it my first time out. And it is also deeply, deeply weird. It is much less about, like, colonialism and much more about, like, art and what rich patrons do to it. And there's a whole bunch of... Anyway, I'm very excited to be doing that. So that's what we're going to start with next time. I'm going to go ahead and keep snoozing these ads, because I think we're going to go ahead and outro here. We're about 30 minutes from our normal end of stream time, but there's nothing that I'm going to kick on in 30 minutes that I think is gonna do anything but take away from that spectacular finish. So I think we'll just go ahead and call it early there. Let me actually switch back to this. There we go. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out for this wonderful series of Riven streams. Yeah, let me explain. No, there's too much. Let me sum up. Listen, so many times in my life I've had to it's a coping mechanism. But I'll get back to that in a second. Let me finish the outro. But I do actually want to tell the for 20 cents more you get the brownie crackhead story, because it's very funny and also weirdly a good life lesson that we got from a waiter at a restaurant that no longer exists. More on that in a second. So that's us for the night. If I remember right, Remy is not going to be streaming over at twitch.tv/SquareLily. However, be sure to check out our full stream team schedule for the rest of the week over at schedule.truck.community. Has what the whole gang is up to, with who's streaming what, on what days, at what times, all in one convenient little page that looks like it came out of the early 2000s. Listen, it's fine. It's HTML. It's meant to work on pretty much everything. The point is, it's information in a nice condensed format so that you can find who's up to what in case you're interested in more streams. We stream pretty much every night of the week, and that way you can keep track of other shenaniganery of things that are happening for the crew. All right, I think that's that on that, since we don't have anybody to pass it over to. And we're also super early. Yeah, so story time. This is years ago. And friends of mine and I were out at a restaurant called Rockola, which I don't know if it still exists anymore as a chain. I don't even know if it was a chain, but certainly the one that was there does not exist anymore. But Rockola Cafe was a regular kind of haunt of ours. It was fairly late into the evening, somewhere in the like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and it was just three of us hanging out. And my friend at the time, whose name I will obscure for doxing purposes or for lack of doxing purposes, was a fairly like gaunt 6'2" individual, scraggly like chin hair, and wearing a like loose fitting gray shirt at the time. This is important for later in the story. So, as was often the case at Racola, our waiter for the evening, pretty much we were one of like three tables that she had to deal with. So we spent a good bit of that evening with her essentially as the fourth person at the table, just conversing. And she was a riot, and we had just a wonderful time chatting with her. And so towards the end of the evening, we had gotten dinner and had that, and it was gone, and we were still just sitting there chatting because as friends are wont to do. And we've been chatting there long enough to get a little bit hungry again and to be looking at like the dessert menu. And the waitress had come around once, and two of us had already decided on what we wanted, and our third friend was like undecided. And he was like, "Oh, come back to me, come back to me." Oh no. She came back a second time. He's like, no, come back to me, come back to me. Third time, she comes back, she's like, all right, that's it, I'm done. What's the problem? What is it you're trying to decide between? And he finally breaks it down, and he's looking at the cheesecake or whatever, or like the lava cake kind of a thing. And he's like, well, he kind of really wants the lava cake, but it's a little bit more expensive, and he'd be fine with the cheesecake, honestly. And so she picks up the menu for a minute, stares at it, and then practically like throws it back across the table in front of it and just matter-of-factly says, for 20 cents more, you get the brownie, crackhead. Which has now lived sort of rent-free as a reminder of like, sometimes if you just have to pay a little bit more to get the thing you want, it's worth it. You can treat yourself, and that's okay. For 20 cents more, you get the brownie, crackhead. So it's just sort of been, so that I felt I needed to, because we have time anyway, I might as well explain, because otherwise that sounds like a very weird thing to say, sort of out of context.
It does come up a surprisingly large number of times.
Every once in a while you look at that and go, I'm kind of, it's like,
well, 20 cents.
Get the thing that's like, get the thing you're actually going to enjoy. Even if it's a little bit more, get the thing you're going to enjoy. The joy is worth it. Your joy is worth it. And on that happy note, I think that's a very good note to end on. We'll be back with Lorelei and the Laser Eyes next week. And I may be flying solo. You're obviously welcome to join me, but if you would like your Mondays back. No,
I'm going to grab my Mondays back. I have power tools to play with.
You have power tools to play. See, that's kind of its own puzzle game. I respect that.
Carpentry.
Yes.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this with me. This was very, very fun. Have a wonderful week, y'all. And we will hope to see you next time. Good night.
Good night.